Hello everyone, my name is Fernando Aquino and I am a technical consulting engineer with the Enterprise LAN switch team here at Cisco. In today's video, we will take a look at how to configure local area Bonjour Unicast mode on Catalyst NAK switches. When deploying modern enterprise network, users expect MDNS services like AirPlay, AirPrint, and device discovery to work seamless across the network. These services rely on Bonjour, which uses multicast DNS or MDNS. With the Catalyst NAK switches, local area Bonjour in unicast mode provides a scalable and efficient approach by converting multicast-based service discovery into unicast communication. This helps reduce unnecessary multicast flooding, improves network efficiency, and enables controlled service discovery across different segments of the network. To extend discovery across multiple VLANs or subnets, Cisco uses MDNS peers and service discovery gateways (SDG) agents. MDNS peers exchange Bonjour service information between network devices, while SDG agents learn, cache, and forward those services across the network. Together, they enable a scalable Bonjour discovery while limiting unnecessary multicast traffic. Now, let's take a look at the topology used for this configuration example. In this setup, Catalyst 9300 and 9500 switches are running Cisco IOS XE version 17.15.4. The switch 9300-1 is acting as the service peer, where the MDNS query is connected on VLAN 20, while the switch 2 is acting as the other service peer, where the MDNS responder is connected on VLAN 30. The Catalyst 9500-3 is acting as the service discovery gateway, or SDG. In this example, SBI VLAN 10 is configured as the source interface used for communication between the SDG and the service peers. Both service peers also have an SBI in VLAN 10, allowing them to establish BCP communication with the SDG and exchanging MDNS service information across the network. Let's review the configuration process for the SDG agent first, and then the service peers. The configuration starts by enabling the MDNS gateway globally on the SDG agent. A source interface, in this case VLAN 10, is configured so the device can establish sessions with the service peers. Next, a location filter is created to identify the VLANs that will participate in inter-VLAN service routing. In this example, VLAN 20 and 30 are added to the filter. Before creating a service list, a custom service definition can also be configured. In this example, the Cisco AirPlay service is defined manually by specifying the corresponding service types associated with the application. After that, inbound and outbound services lists are configured to allow only the required services or the custom-defined service. The outbound list references the location filter so services can be shared between VLANs. By default, Cisco provides several predefined and commonly known services that can be directly matched inside the service list, such as the one in the screen. However, in this example, the specific service used for testing is not included in the default list. Because of that, a custom service definition called Cisco AirPlay was created manually, where the corresponding MDNS service types are explicitly defined. With that in place, the service lists are then associated under a service policy. In this case, Cisco policy, which is later applied to the peer group and the VLANs where the MDNS gateway is enabled. On the SDG agent, define a service peer group. This is where the service policy created is attached, and the IP addresses of the service peers are added so service routing information can be exchanged across the networks. For this example, the IP of the peers is 10.10.10.1 and 10.10.10.2. Next, enable the MDNS gateway on the VLANs of interest, in this case, VLAN 20 and 30. And attach the service policy. Finally, MDNS trust is recommended on trunk ports between the SDG and the peers. This helps to prevent unnecessary MDNS traffic on the trunks, since only Bonjour Control Protocol or BCP packets are expected between the switches. The configuration for the SDG is done. Moving to the service peers, the configuration is almost the same. On the service peers, the MDNS gateway is enabled globally and configured in service peer mode, pointing to the SDG agent IP address, in this example, 10.10.10.3. with an active query timer of 1. A location filter is created to include all VLANs needed, in this case VLAN 20. For the other peer, VLAN 30 needs to be configured. As on the SDG, define the same service. The inbound and outbound service lists are then configured to permit the services. The outbound list references the location filter to control where services are advertised. These service lists are combined into a service policy. Which is applied per VLAN. For peer 10.10.10.2, use VLAN 20. Finally, MDNS trust is configured on trunk interface for each service peer. Peer 10.10.10.3 was already configured with the same configuration for the peer that we just configured. The only difference is the VLAN where we apply the location group and the policy. For validation, an SDK-based Bonjour simulation is used. On the responder computer, the command in the screen is executed to advertise the service Cisco Airplane using the name Room 1. This simulates a service advertisement for Cisco Airplane. The service can then be verified by checking the MDNS cache table on both the service peer connected to the responder and the SDG agent to confirm that the service is properly learned and propagated. To simulate service discovery, the command in the screen is used in the query computer. This performs an MDNS browse request. If a response is received from the network, it confirms that the service discovery process is working correctly, end-to-end across the SDG and service peer architecture. The entry confirms that Bonjour and MDNS are working as expected. Also, the query response on the capture running on the query computer confirms the same. And with that, this concludes a basic demonstration of how to configure local area Bonjour in Unicast mode on Catalyst 9K switches. Thank you so much for watching, and stay connected for more incoming videos.